Hello, everybody. It is week 4, I believe. I hope I'm right. So this is our full month of doing our meditation for global healing. And I'm Vanessa Meyer. So if you don't, Carrie's laughing at me. Sometimes we get strangers that I've never met before. So if we get somebody I haven't officially met, then please say hi. Hi, Jeannie. Hi, Katie. Every time I say people's names on the Facebook Live, I feel like I'm doing Romper Room. So if you're too young, you don't know what Romper Room is, you're going to have to look it up after this. But it's like, here's my friend Jeannie and Katie. Ridiculous. And I was always jealous. I always wanted to be in Romper Room, and I didn't get on. I don't know how you did that, but I didn't get on. Anyway. So, yeah, so it's Sunday night again. Jeannie's laughing at me. You should laugh at me. It's ridiculous. I'm very jealous about the Romper Room thing. All I remember, I think there was a mirror. I don't even remember what the show was about. So we have a few things to talk about, very, very important. But first we have to do our weather report. So if you don't know the internal weather report, it's very, very simple. You're going to tell me in terms of that type of language how you're feeling just today at this moment. If it's 72 and sunny, no clouds in the sky, then you're going to be like, yeah, that's where I'm at. And if it's not, give me something else. And this week I'm going to ask you to actually type it if you're on Facebook Live. And my other people, there's only a couple of people on Zoom so far. So if you want to share, Tanya, how are you feeling today?
Oh no, today is a blessed day for me. I'm glad.
Yeah.
So I would say 85 degrees, sunny.
Ooh, nice. Yeah. 85 is too hot for me, but for you that might be perfect.
Yeah, I like it.
That's great.
Thank you.
Cool. David?
It's been a pretty good day. I would say it's been about 70 degrees, 65 degrees, sunny. Yeah, it's been a pretty good day.
Okay, so get even more detailed with it. So I'm giving you the kids' way out of it, but I want you to get even more detailed. Like, are there clouds in the sky? Is there a chance of rain? You know, stuff like that. Carrie, what's up?
It is 77, sunny, a little cloudy, but still pretty bright.
Still pretty bright. I like it.
Yep.
Facebook people, how you doing? I got a new person on here, and I'm going to mess up her name. I don't know if it's Layla, Lejla, I don't know, I'm sorry. I like the beautiful, though, that's great. What do you guys got? How is it feeling for you? I never know if Facebook is like a little beat behind or not, but we'll see what happens. So maybe they're typing right now, so I'll share mine. Today was good. I would say like 65 with a little bit of wind, and you know, right now as we go into this, I start to feel better and better. So I'm already feeling like it's getting sunnier out, and I'm by the beach, maybe getting nice now. So 77 sunny, a little windy. Thanks, Jor. Yeah, like the windy has something to do with it too, right? It's like, oh, that could mess things up, but maybe not. Could bring some chance of something else. So, you know, it's important for us to ask the same repetitive way of questioning our internal status. Our weather report is very, very simple way of, you know, we use it for kids, but a headwind can help. Good. Hey, Valdana. Use it for kids just so that they can start to understand that self-awareness. But truthfully, it's so good for all of us because it gets to help us understand where we're at in that moment, how we kind of rated the day, and also showing like how things can change so quickly, right? So we can go from, oh my gosh, it was perfect. It was 75, it was sunny, there were no clouds, blah, 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 and go through all this detail. And then something happens and we can change really, really fast. It could also go the other way, where we wake up feeling super, super cloudy, having a lot of difficulty getting out of bed, and then we do a small practice of breath work, and suddenly things start to shift. So when we take that internal weather report very, very I love seeing you too, little Lana. It's so simple, but it's so, so important because a lot of people don't really have that self-awareness to kind of weigh in on things go from moment to moment, and they rate their whole day like in one breath, and that will go for the whole week. You know what? The whole week was like this. And generally, it's not really like that. You usually have a lot of moments that are great in between some moments that are not so great. Kristen's connecting to audio. Hey, Kristen. So it's super important that we do this all the time. And particularly for kids, people with kids, the more you talk about it, the easier it is for them to understand. You know, I always say that kids draw us back so easily into the present. But part of what they need to do, they need help with a lot, is self-regulation, which adults do too, of course. But generally speaking, children really, really need that because for them, everything is so in the moment that they don't really know how to change that impulse control. They don't know how to get a hang of it. So the more we model it, the better it is. This goes for adults that were never really taught that. There are plenty of them in the world, unfortunately, that really don't have that self-regulation piece. I'm not going to even say like you'll never master it. It's more of being in the process of doing that all the time. It's just part of the practice, which brings me to, you know, the practice. What is the practice? When you hear a yoga teacher talk about practice, it has very little to do with the poses. So asana is used to help us gain presence of mind, gain presence of like awareness for the body and the spirit all at the same time. So we use a pose to, you know, like let's say a more challenging pose, which for everybody it's different. But maybe like crow pose, right? We're holding crow pose for way longer than normal. And today it's really hard and my arms are weak and this isn't working and my balance is off and blah, blah, blah. And that pose is supposed to help bring you into that big, big awareness. And actually for me, crow pose is not really the one that does that for me. Maybe something a little different like, let me think. I don't know. Basically anything that stretches my psoas, that front hip flexor. Oh boy, that can really like feels like it's painful as hell. Everything's not so happy. I start questioning my life in the middle of the pose. Pigeon pose is like that for me. I don't like it. So it's to train the mind that like while you're uncomfortable, you can still find breath. You can still find a way to be present and to deal with it. So that's a big thing of what we're working on, is to keep cultivating that inner awareness and that what's going on, and that it doesn't mean the whole day is like that. It doesn't mean the whole week is like that. It's just what it is. And here we are in 2020, we're doing this all the time now because we're memeing all about like, well, this is what we thought 2020 was going to be like. And then 2020 came then and like, you know, knocked the whatever out of us. Jordan loves pigeon pose. That's funny. We'll have a whole discussion on this. Hey, Anthony. So, you know, it's fine because we're joking around. We're saying like 2020 is just horrendous and it's all these other things, you know, which right now that's what it feels like. But the truth is that there's still going to be places during this whole year that you're going to find gratitude for, because you're so much better than this meme, right? You know, the meme is funny. I'll laugh at them too. But remember that it's supposed to be a joke. It's not saying that, you know, your whole life is going to be based on how you're doing, like how the pandemic is horrendous. It's going to be based on what you're doing, how you're handling it, what you're doing to reach out. All these little things that we do add up. And then suddenly, like, yeah, 2020, we can say we don't want it here. We want everything to fast forward. Not the truth, because you don't ever want to fast forward your life. It is so precious. You have so many wonderful things going on right now. Even if you're depressed, even if you don't have a job, even if you have a hard job right now, all of it, you still have things to be grateful for. It doesn't mean you have to feel grateful. It's not what it means. Gratitude is, people think you can like attain it. It's not like that. Gratitude is kind of fleeting sometimes, and graciousness comes sometimes afterwards. So, you know, I go into these things a little, touch upon it each week, and we go more and more into it. But so this week, talking about the focus of gaining that type of awareness on not just a daily basis, but a moment-to-moment basis, and understanding that that can change at any moment, and it's okay, right? Totally okay. So tomorrow is Memorial Day, and Memorial Day weekend for so many is such, you know, a time of fun, you know, and for others, maybe it's a little sad. You know, you start remembering people that have, you know, lost their lives to fight for us. Maybe it reminds you of some other things too. Maybe you are a veteran and have PTSD and the fireworks set you off. Like, there's so many different things going on all the time. For me, I'll give a share, but like Memorial Day, I still celebrate so much because I'm so grateful for what I have. But in 2013, my grandma, who was one of my best friends, hey Liz, she had just returned from the hospital, and she was having a heart attack in her bed, and would not let me or my mom call the ambulance. And that was Memorial Day weekend. And I was in this house because I live in their house now. And I remember the sounds of all the neighbors, the sounds of the fireworks, the sounds of celebration, and thinking about the juxtaposition and how crazy it was that everybody else was celebrating right around me. And I was suffering so hard, watching something that was completely out of my control. And that's what it was. But do I focus on that now? No, it comes up. And when it comes up, I start to give it some space, because obviously it can mean a lot to me. You know, like, I'm not crying right now, which I'm very impressed by. But I always think about that because it was just so crazy. I mean, it was so loud and everybody's celebrating, and here she is, like, just suffering in front of me. So another thing happened this week, and I usually would put this in like more of the community discussion afterwards, but I think it's important as people are gaining and coming to the pre-meditation stuff. Kripalu, who I always mention is my home, and maybe you saw it on my Facebook, but like the Center for Yoga and all this amazing wellness, and they have speakers that are famous come through all the time, and you're talking about presenters that have presented all over the world, and the way they speak is incredible. But even more so than that, the people that work there, their home teachers, the people that come through for, you know, seva, and like everybody that walks through that door is incredible. And so I really mean my home. And I felt heaven there. Like, I've actually connected to heaven while I was there. And they had to make the really tough decision to close. And basically they're saying that they're going to open in 2021. You know, of course, this provokes a lot of fear. So what I want to talk about is one of the best things of their teaching, something called breathwa. And it's an acronym for breathe, relax, feel, watch, allow. And if you have a pen in front of you, I highly recommend that you write this down. Breathe, relax, feel, watch, allow. One more time. Breathe, relax, feel, watch, allow. So breathwa is a perfect combination of all these tools that we work for all the time. You know, something happens that jars us, or that we're super stressed out, and you start to breathe. And this is one of the typical teachings that you hear all the time, like, okay, take a deep breath, take a deep breath, take a deep breath. And why do we come to take a deep breath? We come to that because we know that, okay, maybe you don't know it like this, but I'm going to explain it. Physiologically, this is so funny because I'm going to go into a little bit of neuro with you, but basically your biofeedback loop, like as you take a deep breath, everything starts to relax. It's a sign to your body that I'm safe, I'm okay, there is no bear chasing me, right? So my parasympathetics can breathe. Like, so, you know, when you're chased by an animal or something like that, everything shuts down. You can't go to the bathroom, you can't eat. That's just what happens to keep you safe. And when you're relaxed, you're supposed to be able to increase digestion, your blood flow, things start to calm down, your breathing relaxes. So when you take a deep breath, your nerves. I'm not going to go into all the nerves, but basically it tells your whole body, I'm safe. So that's why we bring the focus to one spot, and that's what the breath does. It focuses us into one spot. So that happens. Okay, so now I'm telling my body, I'm safe. The relaxation is more an end result of that, and we start to go into this, okay, all right, now I'm going through that. I'm still focusing on slower breaths. Okay, so the relaxation happens. Breathe, relax, feel. Feeling is probably, in my mind, one of the biggest parts that our society fights. We fight feeling anything that we deem negative. Like, we don't want to be there. Nobody wants to be in anger or a sadness or anxiety or anything like that. We just don't want to be there. And that's hard because we don't want to be there. So Breathwa says, you're going to breathe. You're going to breathe. Just remember, you're still breathing. Even when you feel like you can't breathe, you're still breathing. And now maybe you can slow the breath down. Maybe you can't. You're just going to breathe. You're going to allow the body to relax. You're going to feel it. You're going to feel this pain. You're going to feel it because eventually it will go away. It will go away. Then you're going to become a witness to yourself. And I always talk about bearing witness. Pretend you're an outsider, like not judging yourself, just going, oh, I see they're having difficulty. Something's wrong here. Something's amiss. How can I help them? And you just start to kind of hold space for yourself in this place, which has a lot to do with remembering that you're human, that you are supposed to have feelings, that it's a blessing to have feelings and to stay in that. Hey, Faye. Hey, Renee. So breathe, relax, feel, watch. Watching is the bearing of witness. And then allow. Allow is another kind of response to it. So we've gone through the tough part about feeling everything. All right, I've tried all of my tools. Something's not working. It's too hard for me. I'm still having anxiety right now. I've used my crystals. I've used my breathing. I've taken walks and exercised. I've listened to TED Talks and positive things and done yoga. I've done music. Like, what else is in our toolbox? I'm always going to talk about the toolbox because for everybody, it's slightly different. And you need to know what's in your toolbox. So we'll get back to that as well. So then you're allowing. Hey, Mayor. So that after response is also super important because you still have to constantly bear witness to everything that you do along the way. You have to make sure that you've given yourself some space to like feel everything. So let's go into this for a second. So say you wake up and during this time, it's not uncommon for people to say, I am having such a hard time getting out of bed, such a hard time doing normal functions. I don't want to get dressed. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. So unless they're being forced to, like they have to physically go out for work, a lot of people are just having a harder time generally. Hey, Denise, getting themselves to do things that they would normally do. So we do that internal weather report. This is how I'm feeling. And then going back into that allowing part. So we use things in our toolbox. I just got kind of a little lost for a second. Hold on. Because I was watching the feed. Where was I? Hi, Liz. So I'll get back there. This happens too. Mary's waving. Okay. Where was I, guys? What were we talking about? Toolbox? Okay. Nobody's gonna talk to me. That's
Toolbox,
okay.
everyone's different.
Right, everybody's different. Okay. I don't know. There was something that I was really supposed to say, but that's okay. So everybody's slightly different, and I've gone through all these things. Oh, I know where I was going. So I get up in the morning, I'm having a difficult time. I know I'm having a difficult time. I acknowledge that I'm having a difficult time. I look in the mirror and I say, wow, instead of, wow, you look crappy, you look like this, you're going to say, hey, it's okay. How can I help you? So a little bit of an outside of the body experience where you go, how can I help you? To yourself, how can I help you? And then right away, your toolbox is going to go, listen, today you need to take a walk. You need to put your hair up, put on a little makeup. You need to make yourself feel better somehow. You need to call your friends. You need to write something. Like, you will have a response in your head that's going to tell you little things of what to do. And you have to really, really listen to that. So you've gone through your toolbox though, and you still don't feel well. Now we have a whole day of feeling depressed. Is that bad? Probably not, right, guys? Like, it's okay. It's okay. Can it be a warning sign? Absolutely. Can it be something that won't serve you for much longer? When you decide to stay present, when you decide to feel what's actually going on, there's this wave that happens. And in yoga, we talk about the waves a lot because that's really what it's all about, is acknowledging that you're supposed to have feelings. You're supposed to experience this whole life. So you have this like buildup of stress. Usually it's like everything's based off of stress pretty much. And stress. And then something happens like extra. We think it's extra. We think it's like, oh, the money didn't go through for the check, and now it might bounce, and blah, 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 whatever it is. Like, so it soups you up into this high wave, and all this stuff happens, and you tried to fix it, and maybe it's working, and maybe it's not. But what happens afterwards is exactly what you need to do. So now you've breathed, relaxed, feel, watch, allow. You've used things in your toolbox, and you're still fighting against it. There's a point where you have to decide, like, I'm not going to fight this feeling. Like, this part of my day, these couple hours were super, super stressful. And I did the best that I could. And I did what I needed to do. And now there's nothing else I can do for that situation. You have to stop. And you have to stop beating yourself up. And you have to stop telling everybody else that, like, I am a victim of this horrible, horrible day. Nothing's working for me. I'm having a hard time all the time. You have to stop. And you have to start to let the feelings flow. Because there's a million other things going on beneath the surface. So the wave builds up, you get to the pinnacle of the wave, and instead of continuously fighting against the tide, you have to just go, you know what? I feel down today, and I need to acknowledge why. And if you don't know, basically guaranteed that if you start writing about anything, if you start doing something creative, or if you start talking to a really good listener, and maybe they ask you like one question in the whole conversation, you'll go, oh, that's why I don't feel good. So it's more than, yes, obviously we have a pandemic going on. That's like this giant umbrella currently. But you always have your own personal underlying current. And you have to allow that to happen. You know, so for me, like I said to you guys before, you know, Memorial Day for me, I had this very, very intense experience. Like I was watching my grandma suffer tremendously and everybody else is having a party. So that's my undercurrent going on. I have this thing happening as well. But there could be other reasons that I'm starting to feel like a little off. Something's not right. And that's work. I have to work on that constantly. Maria, who else we got? Karen, Kim, awesome. Thanks, guys. So, breath, we're going to say it again for people just tuning in. Breathe, relax, feel, watch, allow. Please, 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 after this is done, this portion, rewatch it later on so you can see what I was talking about in the beginning. Super, super important. So that's one of the best things that I ever learned at my training was about breath walk. So we're already at 9:29. Boy, I could talk for a long time, huh? So, you know, as we go into the meditation tonight, I want you guys to really think about a little bit of self-worth stuff. You know, how are you gaining through this tough time? What are you getting from it? Because you are. Things are, you know, there's a tremendous sense of loss currently for so many people in so many ways. But there's also all these other wonderful things happening. How are you gaining? What are you getting? And what are you putting out? Just a question. It's a couple of questions, but that's what I really want you to focus on. So as we go into meditation tonight, and if you haven't already, it's time to start getting yourself prepared for that. You sit or lie down in a comfortable position, whatever that means for you. And I'll slow my talking down. And if you're on Zoom, I'm going to mute you. And then you can even, doesn't matter, you can shut off your video, it doesn't matter. So I'll slow down what I'm talking about. So start thinking about what you're getting, what you're giving out, and how every day really is different. You know, we joke around that it's Groundhog's Day. It's a funny joke. I like that movie. But there are things that are different, and the way that you're evolving is so important during this time. Hey, Claudette, I love that. She said, I gain, learn, gained learning more about meditation with you. Thank you so much. So we use the meditation. Who's not muted? Oh, it's Jordan. Okay. So we use the meditation to gain the self-awareness, right? And so that we can ultimately raise our own vibrations. And the more we talk about how other things affect that, like starting with the weather report in the morning, throughout the day, teaching that to others, like, because you guys are going to become teachers after this. Don't be a know-it-all, be very humble, but you will be teachers about this type of stuff, because it's going to start to really resonate with you and you're going to want to share it. And I hope you do, you know, and if you have questions, you just come and ask me. Okay, so we're going to start to slow down even further now. So shrug your shoulders up to your ears, give them a nice big squeeze. Good. Clench your jaw here. Everything really, really tight. Tight, 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 and small. And then in the next exhale, let it go down. Close the eyes and just feel what that's like in the body. Do it again. Squeeze it up really, really tight. Clench the jaw. And exhale it all down. So you'll notice that even with those simple movements, the body responds positively. And you'll take your tongue away from the roof of the mouth. Focus on the breathing now. You can bring your hands to your chest or your belly. And just get that sense of allowing space to happen. And now you'll start counting the breath. So, hey Kim. So the count of the breath just brings awareness to how fast you are breathing. You can try to get it for a nice slow count of, 7 in, maybe hold for 4, exhale 7. If that's too long, you go for your own count. Just drawing awareness to it. And you'll notice pretty quickly that saliva starts to gather in the mouth. You can kind of let it lay there for now. Take a nice deep inhale with me. And a big exhale out. Welcome to the meditation for global healing. To begin, sit or lay down comfortably with straight spine. Use support if needed. Make sure your surroundings are as calm as possible. Before beginning this meditation, take a few minutes to settle into your body. First, become witness to the breath. Feel it in its entirety. Imagine it as a soft and palpable wave in the body. Notice how long the inhale and exhale last. Notice how pressure builds in the chest if you retain the breath. Notice how it releases with ease upon exhale. Simply bear witness. As the breath deepens and lengthens, we'll shift our focus into the 7 main chakras of the body. Think of these as the main energy centers. The first, known as the root, is located at the base of the spine. This area is associated with family, social belonging, safety, and security. Upon your next inhalation, see the color red and exhale red. Moving up into the sacral. The sacral chakra is located right below the navel. It's associated with creativity, sexuality, power, control, money, relationships. When all is well and in balance, these things will thrive. Inhalation of orange. Exhale orange. Moving slowly up to the solar plexus. This is located right below the break in the ribs. It's associated with personality, self-esteem, your gut instinct. Deep inhalation of a bright yellow. Exhale, yellow. Raising up into the heart, located right at the center of the chest. Here we think of love, forgiveness, and compassion. Deep inhalation of green. Exhale, green. Coming into the throat chakra, right at the throat. Self-expression, choice, will, following dreams, faith, trusting life. Inhaling blue. Exhale, blue. Raising up into the area known as the third eye, between the brows. Intellect and open-mindedness, divine reason, trust, seeing the bigger picture. This is a beautiful color of indigo. Inhale deeply. Exhale, indigo. The last of the 7 main chakras is known as the crown. It's located right above the head, associated with spirituality, knowing who you are, letting go, enlightenment, awareness. It's the awesomeness of violet. Inhale. Exhale, violet. And now you'll see all the colors of the 7 main chakras raise from your body. All colors merging into an all-encompassing white light. It comes like a flame from the body. This white light brightens with every breath you take. It becomes stronger with the warmth and shimmers like the rays of the sun. On the outsides of the white light are beautiful glimmers of gold. You can feel the strength gathering with each breath. Allow this warmth to envelop you completely. Experience its safety, its awesome healing powers. Feel the warmth go in and out and completely circle you, fully experiencing the power of healing. See yourself become the light. Now allow it to grow stronger with each breath. The
the white light becomes so expansive that it reaches farther and farther out of your body and soon out of your home. It expands throughout your neighborhood. The streets are clear, and only this powerful light shines. Allow the light to flood everywhere. It's like the sun rising. It pours out and shines on all it encounters. Watch as it expands and allow it to now focus on your city. Let it go to all places that need the healing of love. Allow your light to grow with ease. Your heart willingly expands its love with the glory of peace. See this awesome light go into the hospitals. See it wash over all of those suffering and whom are overworked. Feel it surround all those sick in homes, senior centers, the impoverished, so on and so on. Take a deep breath here, and upon your exhale, witness how the light heals. The light pauses all these people, and now all you see is warmth, and the light helping them breathe, calming their pain, their panic. You watch their bodies release into the beautiful healing of this. Take deep breaths here, giving them time. Watch your light grow with every deep inhalation. Allow the exhale to be a beautiful and long release. You trust that the light will stay with them as you continue forth to expand the healing. See your country surrounded by this beautiful sphere of white light. The white light gathers grace and speed as it heals, and soon it will cover the continents, the oceans, the far ends of the earth. Be amazed as it expands to the entire world. See every single person receiving the healing warmth of light in their heart throughout their entire beings. Send the light to the leaders of our world. Let it raise their consciousness for a world of harmony and peace. Watch as Mother Nature rests and repairs. See the animals thrive and heal from this great pause. And now see them receiving the white light as well. See yourself looking down on the earth. Feel the vastness around you as you feel the healing power totally envelop the planet. The white light becomes a massive sphere of pure energy, pure love. The planet becomes alive with the unity of this energetically entwined pulse. Slowly you'll float down closer to the places you love. You'll see family and friends gathering, smiling, laughing. You'll see people sharing food and long embraces. There will be tears of joy. There will be music, dancing, and celebrations. The community that we've built so strongly will be even more blessed than it was before. See our world bound with the breath that inhabits us all. See the breath as the continuous, tangible white light. Take time here to see all of your family and friends together. Be very specific about the faces, the people, the feelings that you wish to surround yourself. Take time to say your thank yous, to show your gratitude, to really be with each other. Feel the sensations of your fingers as you hold someone else's hand. As you hug someone you haven't been able to hug for a long time. Feel your hearts beat as one. Take time to bear witness to everything you've been missing. To feel the beauty of the white light, the warmth, as the sun pours down on all of us. Feeling how the breath unites us. How it brings us back into the softness, into the calmness, into the sweetness. See us all together in peace. Knowing fully that anyone who cannot be with us now are always with us. Feel their love shine down upon you. Feel their warmth. Slowly coming back into the body. Accept the white light as your own, feeling the vastness now inside of yourself. Feel your heart beat stronger than before. Continue feeling the breath soft and long. Watch as the white light comes from the top of the head and like a soft wave goes down the body again, allowing to drift further and further with each exhale, softly landing like a blanket all the way down to your feet. You are wrapped completely in love, completely in white light. Peace to all, life to all, love to all.
So continue watching the breath. And feeling what that slowness of breath is like inside your body. So key word is always allow that feeling. So feeling. Allow the feeling to happen. See if things have shifted during that 20-minute meditation. If you weren't feeling so great, maybe you're feeling calmer now. Maybe you feel a little bit more hopeful. And going back, last week, if you weren't with us, we spoke about intentions and how strong intentions are. So while the world is in chaos and things seem to be just happening around us, your intentions, that's what we're doing during the meditation, visualizing, wonderful things that make us feel so whole and complete, people that really serve our souls. Those intentions are very, very strong and very, very powerful. And every time you revisit that feeling, that thought of feeling very safe and peaceful and complete, you do your body service. You raise your vibrations. The cells thank you. They go into optimal health. And that affects everything else. So the rest of your day affects people around you, and so on, and so on, and so on. So mindfully feeling the breath, mindfully feeling what the body is needing, and going with what you need to do in the next moment is only going to serve you and everybody else. So we're closing this portion, and if you'd like to join us into the next Facebook Live, Zoom will remain the same. I'm just going to end this in like a minute after I finish talking, and then I'll start a new live one in a couple more minutes. And then we're going to, during that session, we talk more with everybody else and how their week has been and if they did their homework and all that stuff. But so I recommend that you stay tuned. So just closing with our intentions for Memorial Day. So putting any political views aside, this is all about our great healing. And the feeling of love altogether. So it's obviously about the people who have fought for our freedoms, whether or not you agree with why those things happened. The point is that they fought for our freedoms, our freedom of choice, our freedom of everything. And to serve that, we give thanks. We give thanks for their servitude, for their bravery, for their willingness to do something like that, and for being for us. So their intentions were good. And with that in mind, we honor them, we honor their families, and we say thank you for everything you've done. And we remember them. That's what Memorial Day is about. So if you just close your eyes one more time for me, you can put your palms together and rub your palms together really, really fast. And if you have someone specific in mind, or people in mind, or maybe a family that you know lost someone in war, or even afterwards, or PTSD stuff, or they're suffering and maybe they committed suicide, something horrendous that happens, you're going to stop and raise your palms out towards them, and you're going to keep them in your mind's eye. And that white light comes back so strong immediately. And you take 5 really long deep breaths here, and every exhale the white light's going to go brighter and brighter, and you're going to send this love to them, to their families. Each exhale is like stoking the fire, just letting all that energy flow out to them. Thank you so much for your good intentions. Thank you for giving your life. We send that love to all whom are affected by this. And over the next few breaths, we continue with the feelings of peace, asking for great peace for all of us, for great healing for all of us. May there be peace. You bring the hands back together into heart center. And in Sanskrit, you don't have to say it, but in Sanskrit we say Om Shanti, peace. Take a deep breath in. Om Shanti. So again, Facebook Livers, I'm going to say goodnight for now. Don't forget to invite anybody and everybody for next week. And please join us in a couple of minutes for the next one.